Hello and welcome to the Trans Agenda, a podcast by TransClinique. I'm your host, Niko, and I'm a trans man and my pronouns are he and they. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be right here talking about the Trans Agenda. In this podcast, we'll delve into the unique challenges and experiences of trans folks, highlighting the voices of those who have lived it themselves. We'll explore issues such as navigating medical and legal systems, finding acceptance within family and community, and combating discrimination and violence. Our guests will share their personal stories and expertise, providing valuable insights and perspectives on this often misunderstood aspect of the human experience. Join us as we strive to educate, inform, and advocate for trans rights and visibility. Hello, and welcome to the Trans Agenda. My name is Niko, and this is Star.
Hi, I'm Star Amerasu.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Star? Tell us your pronouns, what you do.
Hi, I'm Star Amerasu. My pronouns are she, her, hers is, and I'm a film student.
Awesome.
That's what I'm going to say these days.
Yeah. I mean, we know that you also do a lot of other things, but let's talk about the film. So why did you decide to go to school for film?
I'm going to school for film because I feel like of all the storytelling arts, it was one of the ones that I didn't know as much about, and I was curious on how to do it. I've acted in film before. And I've acted in theater, and I was like, oh, I want to learn about making film and writing film. So I've been writing, and I'm filming next week my first film that I wrote. Well, it's technically my second film, but my first story narrative film that I wrote, which is exciting.
What is it about?
It's about two trans girls in a bathroom. One heifer is going through it, and the other hoe helps save her and helps her see that she's not at the end of her rope as much as she thought she was.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, as a trans person, how did you find your identity? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Identity, politics. No, just kidding. I found my identity. I moved to San Francisco when I was 19. I took the train from Austin, Texas. I tried to transition in Austin as a teenager, and it was hard. I couldn't get hormones. So I left, and I feel like a little bit on the internet you learn about transitioning, and then I didn't really know trans people in real life. I was getting therapy. I was going to a queer youth program type of vibes. I was in the GSA in high school.
Hey.
You know the vibes. Apparently I found out that you were the president of your high school GSA.
I was.
From my school's TA.
What?
Who knows you, who was the succeeding president after you.
There was no president after me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Right. and we're finding this out on camera.
Yeah.
Her name was Alex.
Okay.
She was some undergrad after you, but younger than some kid after you.
Because after me, the GSA closed.
She was the president.
Because the advisor died.
I think they redid it.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
She was telling me about it.
So you were in the GSA too.
I did GSA. But at my high school, the GSA was run by the computer sciences teacher who was gay and weird type of gay. I was in theater, so we had the cool gay teachers and the cool art gay teachers, and so all of our teachers were gay, including a lesbian hardcore superintendent of the academy, the Fine Arts Academy. So we had a whole gay side of the school.
Sounds
so I didn't really have to go to the GSA.
Yeah, we could just go to the school.
We just went to school.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was a teenager, and then I transitioned, and then I moved to San Francisco, or I tried to, moved here, got my moans and all that kind of stuff, and there we go.
A lot of people do know you as an artist, a musician, a DJ, a singer.
I have done some of that stuff before, allegedly.
You just allegedly dabbled. So tell us a little bit about that alleged dabbling. How did you find your voice as a trans artist?
Honestly, theater was my gateway drug, and then I got discouraged because honestly when I was a teenager, I was doing theater in the Bay a bit was cute or whatever, but I always was doing some like chitlin circuit, it felt like. And by chitlin circuit, it's like a disparaging term. But really, I mean like some queer, it's like everything is super queer, and it was like really freaky queer stuff that I didn't necessarily want to be doing. And honestly, I feel like I had to do it in order to get success. So I was doing like weird queer theater stuff, and then I was like, I just wanted to do regular stuff, but I couldn't do it because I was a transgender. So then I was like, you know what? I know how I'll be famous, honestly. And I was like, I'll make music. Then I was like 20, and I was like singing. I was like, I'll just start singing. So I started doing shows singing. Then I was 21 and I was doing shows singing, 22, and then I was like paying attention. I didn't really understand how most things worked, but I did get the internet a little bit. So I was like, I'm gonna put ads for my music on Facebook, and I'm gonna put ads for my music on Instagram, and I'm gonna put ads for my music videos, and then I'm gonna like reach out to publications and like do all the things. So I just started doing the things, which I guess I find out later is like basically what music labels do for people and like publicists and stuff. And I didn't really know. I was just like,
it sounds like you were really good at it. It sounds like you succeeded.
Well, I just didn't know I just didn't know what you were supposed to do, but I was like, I just like need to do this. Like I just want to. And I honestly think being a trans person, we have this like impending sense of doom looming over us sometimes that kind of pushes, for me at least, it pushed me forward. I was like, oh my God, like something could happen to me. I think like going to T-doors, enough T-doors, like you transition and then we like transition as like young people. So you're like a young person, you go to a trans day remembrance, so I'm like 19 and they're like, well, today we'd like to mourn the death of like lists of 20, 50, 40 people. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna die?
Yeah.
And like every year I'm like, I'm gonna die! And then I'm like, okay, so let me like make my art.
Yeah, it does put a fire under your ass to make something happen.
Not to disparage the death of our community, but like...
No, it's dramatic. It's dramatic.
Especially as like a kid or like a young person. I can't imagine what like now these like actual kid transitioners are like seeing, and they like transition and they just think to themselves like, oh, this is the life I'm gonna have to live.
I think about that all the time, like how there's such young people transitioning. Like I didn't even, my psyche did not allow me to think of that as an option until I was 17, 18. And now people are starting to come to that at like 11.
Yeah, 11.
And I'm like, that was such, if I had to deal with that at 11 on top of the other shit that, like figuring out how to be a human being in middle school or whatever, I don't know if I could have taken it. So.
And those kids, I feel like the kids these days must be very brave, especially now too. We had like, you know, a culture of kind of don't talk about being gay, or like gay is being weird, but like trans people were just, that's crazy. But it wasn't like an ongoing dialogue about trans people everywhere you went. Whereas now it's kind of in common conversation, so then they must feel like freaks, or like people say things like that or call them names, and so I feel worried about that, because I was thinking about that, like just being a young queer person, having people say mean things about other queer people or to me pushed me into the margins, or made me lower my boundaries for other people to do things to me that I necessarily wouldn't have done, because I just thought, well, this is what I deserve, or this is like what
the status quo.
This is like, oh, this is what it must mean to be gay, or this is what it must mean. Like, okay, so like this person says like, yeah, so yes, sure, I'll hook up with this person's father.
That is a good point.
You know what I mean?
It's like how your boundaries do lower as a direct result of like society.
Yeah, because people are like, you're a fucking freak, so this is all the kind of things this is the only thing you deserve. And I think like it's taken years to be like, actually, okay, like I have boundaries, I have like needs that are different, and I can like understand that those things that I might have been okay with, or like that I went through when I was much younger, is just because of society kind of like making me feel like I was wrong when I necessarily wasn't.
Or that you should accept. I had this guy that I used to hook up with, and he would always misgender me, and I was trying to be like cool about it, you know, which in retrospect I'm like, I don't have to be cool about that. No. You know, but that's the type of thing that I feel like you're talking about is like, you know, we get confused. How did you start the journey to find your true north?
Let's see. I think it's taken years. Silence. Walking in the woods. I went on a hike today, which was really fun. And it was really good. I feel like things like that, like having to go into nature and like being free and outside and away from people sometimes is the way. Like really separating what's my own self from what other people are is like my biggest thing, because I feel like sometimes other people's thoughts and feelings can get caught up in me, or like what people expect of me can be like put onto me, and like that's not real. I have to really like sit with myself and be like, who am I? What do I want? What is this life? Because I think it's like, to piggyback on what I said earlier, from being in like a 19-year-old going to my first Trans Day of Remembrance, like T-Door here in the city, and being at the LGBT center and being like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Like I think I was gag-gooped in and really thrown for a loop, and I was like, this is crazy. And then like I don't know, a couple years later, one of my really close trans friends died. Then the next year, another of my sisters died. And then the year after that, this trans boy I knew died. Then the year after that, another doll died. Then this year, 3 different girls I knew died. So I was like, okay, like, I don't know, like our time just feels precious. So I think knowing that, and then also sitting with myself, I can really just now disseminate much faster between like, this is bullshit, this is the shit I need, and just go.
Yeah. It's hard, you know, and I think about representation, right? And as a young person, you're looking for representations of how you can grow into your full self. And when the representation that you're seeing is like just people dying, like what are you supposed to do with that, you know? And what you said about hiking and finding the separation between what is you and other people, like that's really powerful. You know? Hiking,
biking, cooking all my meals. I love to cook. Going to the beach. Going on trips, for little road trips, like a 2-hour drive. Love that. Yeah. Blasting music. Walking around the neighborhood. Walking to the park. Those are a few of my favorite things.
Do you feel like you're that feeling of being yourself and whatever, that's like somehow communicated in the art that you make?
Oh yeah, I think that especially originally, I was very young and I was like, I'm gonna like put everything into this music. Like I'm gonna put like all the thoughts that I have into my music, and definitely had a response from people. I used to get really crazy messages from people, like really emotional messages. I don't know if they were real or not, or people being like, I was gonna kill myself and then your song came on and I didn't kill myself. And I've had like multiple types of messages like that of like, your music helped me when I was in a really dark place. And I'm like, I'm really happy that could help people. Obviously, like the music itself isn't the reason why those people didn't die. They're the reason why they didn't die. And I've had to talk to therapists about that. But like, I feel like it's real that people can connect with when other people have been going through shit. So that's what I was doing. Nowadays, though, that's what I'm taking a break from music, like really, because I hate the industry of it, and I'm writing these stories. So I like have this film. I mean, you're gonna help me with it, obviously, but it's like this film, and it's about these 2 girls, and one girl is really in this one place, and there's a longer version I'm gonna make, but the short version is just, you know, she's going from one moment where where she's in this bathroom, she doesn't want to leave, to getting out of that fucking bathroom. And like, I think it's a metaphor sometimes for like our lives of like, sometimes we're just so stuck in one spot. And sometimes it really does take our sisters, our community, our siblings, of other people who have been in those positions before to shake us out of that and pull us through. And that's kind of the story I wrote.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful, you know, and I think it's probably a lot of pressure on you, right, as like one of those people in the eye. And like, we're young people, we're talking about being young people looking for representation. You've become that representation for yourself, which is amazing and powerful, but now you have all these other people looking to you for that. So the pressure that goes along with that. But I think you're handling it really well.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. It's funny because I just don't feel like I have that many people looking at me. I'm like, I feel kind of regular. I'm definitely, especially, I do. I'm like, I'm pretty like normal girl. Like, I'm just a simple, humble girl.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, I'm really glad that you're able to kind of turn it into something beautiful. I'm excited for the project.
Me too.
What do you think in our community, you know, I think in the film too, you're really talking about, it's kind of an idealistic narrative, right? Like, ideally we would have our community come together and help each other. That's not always what happens. It is what happens sometimes. What do you think would be something that we could do as a community to promote that?
Helping each other is really quite good. I love to help you. Would you help me if you could?
Did you go to theater?
Helping each other.
You went to school for theater, maybe?
Yeah. I think that, you know what? Cut the cameras, dead ass. Let me get real with you for a second.
Let's do it.
These people out here in these streets just have to realize that, you know what? You look to these girls and you have to realize that some of these people are crazy. I'm a little crazy too. And you just have to be like, you know what? If somebody is giving you yuck, you have to just walk away from it. And that's the easiest thing to do. Is just walk away from the yucky and walk towards things that are loving and kind. And that will help us all. If we all just walk away from yucky people and situations in life, that'll just help us all more, because then we'll be walking towards the yummy things. And then we can be more in our yummy energy, our receiving energy, and we'll be more magnetic. And then we'll be nicer to each other. I think like in terms of community vibes, like I always think about this as like, I'm not the nicest bitch in the world. Don't get me wrong. I can be rude. I can be cunty. And I think that like that's real and that's normal too, to be that way. And we all have our days, but like more often than not, I just want people to survive. That's actually what I want at the end of the day. And I want people to thrive. Even if they don't necessarily need to thrive next to me, they can thrive on their own.
Over there.
I'm not trying to tear them down. I'm trying to take no opportunities from them. I'm not trying to do nothing to these people. And that's what it is at the end of the day. I think like, I don't, you know, like as far as beefing goes with people, or like the community type teas, like I've heard these things about, I know people's like have drama. I've had drama before, and every time I'm always like gagging when I have drama with people, because usually I'm just like, do these bitches know that even if I don't like them and somebody's like, oh, are you looking for I'm looking for someone to do this one thing, I'm like suggesting these people. Most people don't know that, but like even if somebody I don't like and I know that they're good for a job and somebody's asking me to suggest people, I will always still suggest that person that I don't like.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's like that basic community respect, right?
Yes, because I want them to get their money. Because sometimes I think that sometimes people are just mean because they're going through something. Sometimes people are mean because they're spiritually inept. Like they don't have like the spiritual resources. They don't have capacity. They don't have like a basis of understanding of their own self. They have no reflection. They've never gone to therapy. So it's like not necessarily their own fault. Does that mean that I want them around me? No. Does that mean that they can cross my boundaries? Also no. But like I'm gonna allow them to be themselves and like have a little bit of empathy, but I'm gonna get out of their way.
Yeah. I love the yuck and the yum binary that you're kind of like, you know.
Was that TM? Too much?
No, that was TM, like you should trademark it.
Okay.
Yeah.
scenario. I love it. I've been inching closer and closer to the camera as we've been chatting.
I know. At some point, you're gonna go out of focus. What's next for Star?
I'm gonna win a Spirit Award. I'm gonna win a Grammy nominee, at least 3, but not for what people think. It's gonna be funny, cause you know what? People always let me go on a tirade. Okay. People misnomer me as like a pop star, or as if I ever wanted to be a pop star. Once I called myself a pop-tronic princess because of a album that I released, but I've never wanted to be a pop star. I think that's trite. Especially at my old age, like I'm 24. And I think like being like wanting to be a pop star, like, oh my god, I want to be a pop star so bad at like 24 is kind of like basic. No, I'm a hipster, first of all. And I always wanted to be cool and love things that are niche, and pop stars are not niche nor very cool to me. Like there's some cool pop stars like Gaga, she's kind of cool, but like as you get older you have to diversify. That's why she's like an actress now. She's not just a pop star.
That's true.
So
yeah, that's very true. They used to call me Lady Gaga girl in high school.
Why? Because you were a rah bitch?
Yeah.
A rah. So anyway, were you asking what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, what's next for you?
Oh, so I'm in my film era. I'm like an actress. I was like kind of crying on the drive here, thinking about like my life and like what I've been going through. Yeah, I'm kind of moody. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that, to be an actress and to move my hyphens over, because I'm like, right now I'm like a musician, like a DJ student, Hannah Montana kind of, and I'm ready to be like an actress, model, DJ, writer, actress, DJ, singer.
I can see that. Oh, it's down here. Okay.
Like I sing sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not my main focus.
Cute. Yeah. When you want to.
Yeah, and not pop music. Not like I want to be a pop. Like it's like, oh wow, because there's some people that don't know that I sing. There's people that know me from music and singing. There's people that know me from just DJing. I've noticed that when I book you, people sometimes one or the other. They're like, oh, is she gonna sing? Yeah. It's like, no. Or they're like, oh, is she gonna DJ? I'm like, no. No, you're an amazing DJ. I only want to DJ. Yeah. Every time I'm like, okay, period, DJ. So there is one question I like to ask everybody. What is your trans agenda? I don't have one. Oh my god. America and abroad, I don't have a trans agenda. I don't have one. My agenda is universal. It's an agenda of love. But I will say, y'all need to pay attention to the trans people and support all the trans people in your lives. And trans people need to support trans people. And also some of these trans people need to shut the up, because yeah, you are stupid. Some trans people are fucking dumb. You know what? Is that too much? No. Is this a PG? No, this is for you. Say whatever you want. Some of you trans bitches are really stupid. You shut the fuck up. And some, you can keep talking. And otherwise, yeah. My trans agenda is just that I'm gonna keep doing me, and people are gonna fucking love me doing me. Eventually, one of these fucking days, you mark my words, one of these days, people are gonna be like, oh my god, like, this bitch has been doing her for so long, that people are gonna be like, I love her doing her. I wanna do her too. And they're gonna wanna do me. Boom. Cut. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on the Trans Agenda. Trans individuals face unique challenges every day, from accessing healthcare to navigating legal systems. It is crucial that we work towards creating a society that is inclusive and supportive of people of all gender identities. This means advocating for policies and practices that prioritize the health and well-being of trans individuals, as well as challenging discriminatory attitudes and behaviors where they exist. By coming together to support and uplift trans voices, we can create a brighter and more equitable future for everyone.
Thank you for listening, and let us continue to work towards a world where trans individuals can thrive. Follow us on all social media platforms at TransClinique, and don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button.